Who am I? I'm Daniel Levane. So on today's video, I'm going to show you how I edit my videos using only my iPhone, my iPad, which I'm shooting on right now. So, first off, I have to import the videos. Now, everything I shot for the video that you're about to see me edit was done on my DJI Osmo, so I have to go to the DJI app. First thing I do is select all the clips that I'm going to use and I import them into the photo library. In this case, for the video about Dapper Days, I had 207 clips in total. Next up, I take all of the files from my photo library and I have to airdrop them to the iPad. Now, I could wait until the library on the iPad is updated, but it wouldn't immediately download the files, which would then mean I am waiting twice to get the same files. So AirDrop is the best option. Once the files have imported, I go into iMovie. That's my chosen editor for the iPad. Then I start a new project. I start a new movie, and once it pulls the libraries, we'll select all of the clips that we'll be using for the video. Now that we have all of the clips ready, we're going to go one by one and select them. So now that we have all the clips selected, we're going to click Create Movie, and it will upload all of the clips onto the timeline. Now all the clips are onto the timeline, and as you can see, we have 44 minutes and 46 seconds worth of footage that we're going to cut down to probably about 15 minutes total. So that's a lot of editing in my future. So it's very important to take breaks while you're editing. This is my lunch break. So one of my biggest problems right now is every time I try to add a new clip, I have to go to the media library. And because I have so many files, I'm assuming, it hangs and it takes forever to populate, like it just did. And then it takes forever for the clip to go in the timeline. So see here, I've added a clip and it's just hung. The clip is only like 14 seconds long, but it's in 4K. So I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it. And there it goes. So the most frustrating part of this is when the software, like it is now, iMovie, just hangs up. It just doesn't go anywhere. It's been sitting like this for several minutes now. And the clip that I'm trying to insert is not that long. It's frustrating. So when I started this blog, I thought, hey, I've got an iPhone. I got a fancy iPad Pro. Why don't I just do the blog on these two items pretty much exclusively? So I realized that comes with some downsides, and one of them is the frustrating factors that go into editing on this thing and shooting on the phone. Now, shooting on the phone, not a huge problem. It's actually quite easy getting the files off the phone. It's a little more challenging, but not a huge... It doesn't take a whole lot more time than what I was used to when I used to edit off of the mini DV, which meant I had to import the mini DV information in real time. So if I had captured 3 hours worth of footage, took 3 hours to import into the computer. That was time consuming. The transfer of the files is not so time consuming. If I capture an hour's worth of video, it takes me only seconds to transfer that from the phone to the iPad. The biggest problem with this setup that I've chosen, and I'll explain the reasons why I've chosen it in a minute, but the biggest problem is this clunky software. Apple's iMovie takes forever to respond to anything. Now, I am trying out other softwares to edit. I've done some research, and in the future, I'm going to start trying to use those apps. The problem is I'm a creature of habit, and it takes me a while to learn things. It took me a while to learn how to use this software. I mean, I'm currently editing the 10th vlog. That means I've been editing 10 different videos on this thing. I'm getting pretty good at it. I'm finding shortcuts. I'm finding things that I can do. But it's just infuriatingly slow when I'm trying to edit a video and I need to insert a new clip and the software hangs. Or I'm trying to do a quick little move and it responds erratically and freezes. The biggest problem, and I think it's partly my fault and partly Apple's fault, but my biggest problem is anytime I go to import a new clip, it takes forever for iMovie to find my video clips and to display them. Now, it may be because I have an iTunes library, or I'm sorry, an iCloud library of photos and videos that's almost a terabyte in size. So that might be the reason, and I haven't really been able to figure out a workaround other than being patient and taking my time. Now, this video that I'm working on, I started this morning, and it's now almost 4 o'clock, and I've only been able to edit about 3.5 minutes of it because the software keeps hanging on me. Every time I need to add a new clip that wasn't originally added to the timeline, which is problematic on its own, right? So yeah, I'm repeating myself, but this is a hassle. All right, so we're getting close to the end here of the edit, and we have got it down to 20 minutes, which is great, but we're going to narrow it down. We're going to cut at least another 5 minutes off, which I think I can easily do. So I finally finished the video. I'm done editing, and yes, it is the next day. In fact, I'm getting ready. As soon as I'm done shooting this, I'm going to head off to work. But I wanted to take one last final moment to answer the question that I threw out earlier in the video, which is, why did I choose to edit on an iPad and shoot on an iPhone to do a vlog? And the answer is twofold. One, and the simplest answer, is I had a phone, I had an iPad, why not? Right? The other one gets a little more in depth. Now, I wanted, the reason I started the vlog is because I wanted to start making things again. I used to shoot video all the time. You've seen that vlog of me and all the little movies that I've shot throughout the years. I used to make videos. When I moved to Orlando, I made videos. I always went everywhere with my video camera, and I made videos. Maybe they were just private videos for myself or for my family, but I always made videos. And I wanted to start making videos again, and this was the equipment I had. Now, as I've been doing it, I can see where having a fancy editing suite on a computer and how much easier things would be, how much quicker the process would be. But part of the fun is limitations. Filmmakers talk about how limitations make things better sometimes, be it money constraints, or they only have a specific actor for an hour and the sun's about to set and they're not at the right location, and go. And that's what this is to me. That's what editing on an iPad is to me, is I am limited by the functionality that this offers me. And that limitation can either be a hindrance or it could help me tell stories. And in this case, it helps me simplify stories. If I had access to a Final Cut suite, I could do all sorts of fancy effects and fly-ins and title superimposing and things on the screen. And maybe I'll get there, and maybe I will do something like that. But I like the simplicity that this has offered me and the ability to just focus on telling stories, because that's what I want to do. I want to tell stories. Not all of them are going to be fictional. Not all of them are going to be great. But I just want to tell stories, and that's what this equipment allows me. And it strips out all the fancy stuff, and it just leaves me with a camera, my stories, my ideas, my life. Simple as that. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe. It does help out immensely, and it means a lot to me, so I appreciate it. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the next one.